The co-founder of Mattress Firm, host of the Bed Buzz podcast, and my friend Harry Roberts is here. What else do I need to say? The FAM podcast starts right now. Did you know that 86% of customers buy from the first business that responds? And if you text back very quickly, that number jumps to over 90%. That's why Podium's AI employee, Jerry, is a game changer. Jerry never sleeps, never takes a lunch break, and never puts in a 2-week notice. He's always on, responding in seconds, so you never lose a lead again. Turn missed calls into texts, capture more leads, and close more deals, all with Podium. Want to see how it works? Get a demo today at podium.com/fam. Podium, because speed wins sales. For the first time ever, top retailers can carry the luxury mattress line one of America's top sleep retailers has kept to themselves until now. Introducing Prana Sleep. Crafted from 100% natural materials featuring luxury latex quilted directly into the top panel, it's a feel no competitor can match. Born from decades of retail experience, Prana Sleep delivers premium performance, customer loyalty, and unmatched sleep satisfaction. Your competition is going to hate selling against Prana Sleep because nothing compares. Apply now at pranasleep.com.
In the mattress world, a no at checkout means a lost sale. That's where American First Finance comes in. We help you say yes to more customers, even if their credit isn't perfect. With fast setup, tailored solutions, and support every step of the way, you're not just offering a way to pay. You're inviting them to Yesville, where more people get approved and customers can take home the mattress they need today. Visit AmericanFirstFinance.com to get started.
Welcome to the FAM podcast with Mark Kinsley. This is where the best in the bedding business get even better.
Welcome to the FAM podcast. Harry Roberts, great to see you, my friend. Welcome back to the show. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has, man. Well, thanks for inviting me back. Love chatting with you. Yeah, man, it was fun. You know, that was 2019. That's how long that's been.
What?
Yes.
Man, this is, I'm over 650 podcast episodes in right now. And it's such a great, I call it a life hack because it's a great chance to be able to catch up with people I love, people that I admire, people that have a great story to tell. And I remember that's one of the reasons, I reached out to you in the past was like, we need to hear like the Mattress Firm founder's story about, you and the crew, and the boys from South Dakota spinning up this mattress company and making it really big. After that, you've been coming to the Sleep Summit, you've been coming to Dream Camp, and we got to know your entire career. So for people who don't maybe know your current story, what's the state of the state for Harry Roberts in your business? You're still a Mattress Firm franchisee.
Yes. So I'm still in the biz, and we've got 25 stores as a franchise group for Mattress Firm. So now we're their largest franchisee. We've got Tulsa. We've got 10 in Tulsa. We've got 6 in my home state of South Dakota, and we've got 9 of them up in North Dakota, which actually is 25 stores. But yeah, we're still doing it every day, just like almost everybody that comes to Sleep Summit. That's why it's still real fun, and talking biz with everybody, doing it every day.
Let's go there for a minute. Okay, so what do you talk about with other retailers? Outside of your own walls, when you have a chance to sit down with another retailer and chop it up, what do you guys talk about?
Well, of course, they love to ask me questions just about whatever, just because I've experienced so much in this industry. But it's so similar. It's about people. Where are you getting good people? How are you finding good people? That is still one of the toughest parts of our job. So we talk a lot about people. We're talking a lot of AI. You're bringing that in. How are we using AI? How are you using it to not only help yourself, but help your sales associates, help your biz? We're all trying to figure that out. Advertising's still big because it's changing so fast. It's changing so much with different mediums. Everybody's got a large digital, budget, but they're like, where are you putting it? There's just so many different things. And so it's people, advertising, processes. It's always the same.
It's something that came up when I was out in Los Angeles. I had the honor of going out and meeting Larry and Nelson and Drew from Sit and Sleep and teaching their entire executive team about AI. And I had never said it this way, but sometimes in the moment when you're presenting and teaching, new thoughts come to mind. And it hit me that so much of what you can do with AI frees you up as an organization, as an individual, to have the human touch, to apply the human touch, to be with people more, to do the things that technology can't do. And so that's sort of the unlock for a lot of people. When I'm talking to them about AI these days, it's like, man, do this, automate it so you can do the things that computers can't, which is be there with people, whether that's internal or for your customers.
And it is. And if, me, I'm still a neophyte at it, and I keep trying hard to get, further along with it. It likes to argue with me. I don't know why, but, he's also my buddy, but it is fascinating. I always said if I was, back 40 years old, man, I would be eating this up. I would be diving in so hard to find out ways to help me, help, my team, and just get things off my lap that are always there. There's so much stuff in business and in our stores today that pull us out of the stores. And I've always said, man, you got to stay close to the front door. And if you don't, that's where your business suffers. But there's so much other stuff that pulls us away. And we sit in an office and, that's, this shirt of mine, it says, give love. We always talk about it. It's like, you just got to get out and love on your people. And the less you do that, the less success you have. So you're right, man. If you can figure a way to take a lot off your plate with it, the extra time with your people.
So you're talking about people a lot. You're talking about AI and you're talking about advertising. Okay, so maybe there's no magic wand you can wave and attract the right people, but how do you do it? How do you find good people these days? How do you keep them?
The tough question. Finding people, we've had some success lately in one of our markets. I went up to where I went to school, USD, and we found a few, just by being on campus, we found a few young guys actually from my fraternity. And, these young guys coming out of school, man, there's a lot of fire in them. And you find the right ones. They bring that new energy. They bring, just that eagerness to learn and eagerness to win. I love that part of them. And we talk about, look, you're going to learn a lot more than just how to sell a bed. And so give us time to help grow you to the next position. You might not stay with us forever, but the next job you have, you're going to be more valuable because of the time you spend here on our team, working our program, learning what we do. And it helps. And then, some of these guys get a paycheck and they're like, this is a pretty cool job. I mean, right? I mean, a lot of their buddies go work at banks and this and that. All of a sudden they're selling beds. They don't want to tell anybody. Just graduated from the university and I'm selling beds. But they get that bonus check and they're like, okay, all right, I got it. I like this. So the money helps. But keeping them, you just got to stay engaged and find pieces of individuals. Every person has a story. Find their story and, they'll appreciate it.
Find their story and encourage them to tell their story. I mean, I know that that's something that you talk to Sheldon a lot about.
Yeah. Tell your story. I mean, there's people walking in, you've got to connect. And sometimes using your story is a great way to connect. We push it all the time. We have a gal, she's the mattress savant. She's been Brandi Wilson in Tulsa. She has never been trained how to sell mattresses. She's the number one salesperson in our company all time. Okay. And it's all about connection. And it's incredible the way she connects with people when they walk in the store. I can almost tell what store Brandi's in because it just goes. And so she spends time in a store and it just creates this warm environment, fun environment, and just sells a ton of beds. And she doesn't care what's in a bed. She doesn't care. She's going to find out what matters to the people that walk through the door and make it fun. It just continues to be that. It's having fun, selling beds, connecting with people. You got to find people that can connect.
Brandi's amazing. Brandi is absolutely just a ball of energy and light and fun and warmth and caring all put together, man. She's one of a kind. She's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's coming to Sleep Summit with Elliot.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
If you want to meet Brandi, get over to sleepsummit.thefam.com, get your ticket, and you'll get to meet Brandi. She is amazing. That's really cool that you're like, it's a little beacon that I could see on the map. Like, there's Brandi. Sales are going up. But has she ever shared any like secrets on, not secrets, but like the way that she connects with people?
Yeah, she has. And in fact, she's been on our podcast several times, and we did one on Connect. And she talks with overshare. I mean, she just is sharing and she overshares with people. She figures a way and finds out something about them that connects to her life. And she can talk about it in a way that, they become friends. It's like, yeah, we're similar. And she calls it oversharing because she can talk. She'll talk your ear off, and it's genuine. It's genuine. And that's the beautiful thing. People catch that. It's just genuine. And then she's going to make sure you sleep great. She's going to take care of you. It doesn't matter who the mattress is for, if it's a cheap twin for a hunting ranch it doesn't matter. Everybody gets treated like gold, and she finds something out about them and tells something about herself. And it's amazing. Overshare is what she says.
Overshare. I love that. My friend Doug used to say, people connect with your vulnerabilities, not your victories. So you need to be vulnerable. So that's what she's doing. She's like oversharing a little bit, and it makes you feel maybe a little bit uncomfortable as a person, but that's what people latch onto, and they see, oh, this is a human being here. This is not somebody that's just trying to tee me up so they can, take a swing and get all my money. But it does take, that risk of being a little bit more vulnerable. It really does.
Yeah, it does. And she is. And she also has a tortoise in her store. So she has a pet tortoise. Now, she doesn't run a specific store as much. She's more involved in leadership and helping people grow. And so, but when she's in that store with her tortoise, it's hilarious. I mean, the tortoise walks around in there, and I think his name's Henry. I can't think. Anyway, it's about this big, this tortoise. And she's got fun shoes for it. She takes pictures of it with shoes. I mean, it's hilarious. Yeah. The little kids go nuts
who
when
are
they see
listening.
this.
For people listening that can't see it, how big is it? Size of a dinner plate? Smaller?
It's bigger, a little bigger than a dinner plate. They keep it in captivity.
Okay.
They've been told that the tortoise won't grow much while it's in, its environment now. If they were to take it out and let it roam, the thing would get huge. But it controls its size because of the environment it's in.
Hey, if this tortoise is named Henry, there could be a weird thing that's happened. I don't know how long she's had the tortoise, but my wife Tara, she taught a homeschool pod during COVID, had 7 kids, and they had a Russian tortoise named Henry. So I don't know where Henry is now, but it might be in Brandi's back pocket in the environment. But hey, that's great. But having a thing that sort of lowers people's guard, makes them smile, makes them laugh. That's why I always encourage people, like, if you have a pet that's part of the store, put them out there. I mean, people love animals. They love kids. I mean, it's just universal.
Yeah. And again, it's fun. I don't ever go against fun. Ever since you had Jesse Cole on, right? If the decision you make is about having fun, I'm all good. I don't care. And Jesse Cole said that. No bad ideas when it comes to having fun. And having fun, sell beds, man. That's been the theme since day one.
I love that. And my friend Mike used to say, if you're having fun, you've already won. And it's so true. Like, if you're having fun, you've already won. Like, you're going to attract that type of energy. People are going to want to be a part of it. Do you want to do business with somebody that you don't like, or do you want to do business with somebody you like? Well, how do you like people? Like, somebody's having fun. You want to be a part of that. I mean, you're having fun. You've already won. And I remember Jesse Cole on the podcast. I mean, that's been years ago too, before he got huge. But Jesse was talking about this idea of when you're brainstorming ways to have fun, he likes to see if he can make the idea worse. He would go down this rabbit hole of like, how do we make that idea worse? But it gets you to some really funny stuff. So, hey, definitely, if you're brainstorming today, make the idea worse. It'll get you to some
and
really
if you guys out
things.
there haven't listened to his show, it is fantastic. And you see now where, the Savannah bananas are. I mean, all based on having fun and stepping out and being creative. Just an incredible story.
Yeah, and taking risks. I was out at the Ergo Motion 20th anniversary in Santa Barbara a couple weeks ago, and I got to talk with Alon Klené, and he's the founder of Ergo Motion, and he teamed up with Jack Tang, and they really started the company. But Alon was an industrial engineer, and in the 70s he had Klené Coachworks, and they were selling $100,000 cars in the late 70s. He even made one of the cars for the King of Morocco or something like that, or the Prince. And so he's this wildly innovative guy, just a magical personality. And he told me his philosophy, and it was really simple. He said, be kind, be honorable, and take risks. And it really stuck with me because I was like, this guy's living it. And I'll never forget your cousin Wes, who was on the podcast. amazing person. He's since passed because of that terrible disease. But he said, and I wrote it down and I still have it up on my whiteboard, be bold, be bold. And I mean, that it's a simple thing, but sometimes when you hear that at a different point in your life, it washes over you in a new way. And man, I'll never forget Wes. And I would encourage you to listen to his podcast, which you can find on the fam.com and the Jesse Cole podcast for sure. And thanks to Ergo Motion and Alon for that inspiration.
Yeah, it's out there.
Bold,
that's the great thing too about Sleep Summit. Again, to plug it, there's just inspiration, man. You need inspiration. Mark, I use your show to fire me up. In the mornings, I work out to your show and it just fires me up. I've been doing this now. Next year's 40 years. 40 years.
Yeah, baby.
All right. I mean, come on. What fires you up? And I use your show because it inspires me. I mean, listening to Dale Carlson's show was I wanted to go back in time and do more of the things that Dale did. And it just fired me up. And our stories are so similar. We both started around 86. We're both Lambda Chi's fraternity. It's crazy. The stories are so similar. But he did some things that, man, I'd love to go back and do. And again, I use your show to inspire me because it's out there, and I need a kick in the butt to keep going.
Well, let's go down that rabbit hole for a minute about you and Dale having similar stories, because you're both Lambda Chi, but you were both honored with like a very prestigious award that you can't really apply for, and you guys both happen to be betting business founders that just randomly. Right. Kind of ended up in the same sentence there. What was that award that you guys both got?
Well, it was, it's from the Lambda Chi Alpha fraternity, and it's I can't remember the name of it, but it's their highest award. There's only like 150 people over the entire time. And Lambda Chi started in 19. So it's been around forever, started in Boston. And there's ex-presidents, there's astronauts, there's all these amazing people, and then a mattress salesman. But now there's 3 mattress salesmen in this has been awarded with this achievement award. So it's pretty awesome.
That's wild. Presidents, astronauts, and 2 betting business guys. Hey man, it just shows, we make an impact. We make an impact in this industry. Everybody sleeps. Everybody needs a good night's rest. And we can help them get there. That's the secret, baby.
Everybody sleeps.
Have fun, sell beds. Hey, speaking of having fun and selling beds, people, are probably curious, like, what's it like you're in a very unique chair and a very unique vantage point, because you're kind of the insider and the outsider in a way, because you're a Mattress Firm franchisee and you're part of the Mattress Firm family, but TSI and Mattress Firm are now merged. They're one company. It's called Somni Group, but let's call it TSI Mattress Firm for clarity. What's it like being part of the organization in the way that you are? Give us a peek behind the curtain.
It's been an interesting ride as a franchisee, especially, right? I mean, our business we've got the Mattress Firm flag out front, but we've got to run our, business almost separately. And this change has been good for us as franchisees. Steve Rusing has been very open. I mean, the second day he was in Houston, he called me to have dinner. I mean, right away. He said, I want to hear how you guys are doing, how the franchisees are doing. We got to get you back in the family. And so he's been really open. If you listen back to the podcast we did 2 of them, 2 that day. First one was about the story. The second one is kind of industry stuff. And if you listen to that, I almost predict that Mattress Firm and TSI will come together because of, our relationship from day one. It's just, things, they were part of a purchase of us back in 99, 2000. And so they've always wanted to own Mattress Firm. And I think it's nice now to be owned by somebody that's in the business, who cares about sleep, right? And that's all. It's way better than being owned by people that just want to flip you again. And so it's going to be great for the company. The vision, the connection to people is really where they want to get back to, because they know that's the asset we have, and hopefully they get there. They're working it fast.
I think it's a great point. For the industry to be owned by private equity groups that just want to flip a company and you have those cash cycles of 3 or 5 years and then get out, man, that's brutal. It's brutal in the industry. Brutal. It's brutal in the people. It's just brutal across the board. And I've been kind of front row seat for some of that stuff, and it's not good for the industry overall. I think if we have people that, are interested in the health of the company, the health of who we're serving, both the retailers and the customer, that's a much better proposition than knowing here it comes. They're going to sell us. Everybody gets sweaty palms and who's going to have a job and on it goes. So I think that's a great point.
Yeah, it stifles a lot.
Make sure they keep advertising. Make sure they keep advertising. We need that category awareness out there.
Yeah, they're definitely doing that, and we're fired up about that. We're seeing some of it, and it's and I like the direction with the new tagline, the new philosophy, and so keep spending money.
Share with us what is it?
Well, their new
What's the
tagline is
philosophy?
We make sleep easy. And it's going to, that's, it's kind of been one of my obsessive goals since, the early days. I mean, the first research project we ever heard was buying a mattress is so confusing. People hate doing it. I think if you did a research project today, they would say almost the same thing. And we're talking 30 some years ago that we did that project, right? And we had a tagline back in 94 was we make mattress buying easy. That was our goal. That was our tagline. We make mattress buying easy because we had to, because everybody was so confused. The beds were, different names, similar. Remember all that stuff? You buy it, look at a Sealy at your store, you go to a department store, be a different Sealy. And so it was very, very confusing. And so our goal was we make mattress buying easy. I don't think we've done that. We still haven't done it. We still make it too difficult for the consumer. And so this refocus of, look, we make sleep easy. We're the experts. We know we've been doing this a long time. Come see us because we're going to make sleep easy. Hopefully,
what are some of the best things that you've done over the year? What are some of the best things you've done as an organization or other retailers you've seen who have done a world-class job of making it easy, especially on the retail side?
Because you could Sleep Number.
I mean, talk about it from a Sleep Number, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at Sleep Number. I mean, how many floor miles they have? I mean, they sell you on the concept. They sell you on the brand. They sell you on their program better than most of us. And then they don't confuse you with 50 mattresses on the floor. They have how many floor miles? I mean, so much of the, Purple started out with just a couple beds, made it easy, pick one. You have 3 to choose from. I believe in the product. It's easy to buy. I want it. And it's so some of our competitors have done a great job. We still have a sea of beds in some of our stores, and I don't like it. More does not make it better. It doesn't make it better. It makes it worse for the consumer. I struggle going in. Even my wife, we walked into a store remember where we were, but she's like, oh my God, Harry, what are you doing? There's too many mattresses in here. Are you serious? And so that's not making sleep easy.
So what would you do if you could wave a magic wand and do it differently in a traditional environment? Let's say that you're not going to be a Purple with that story in a controlled, vertically integrated, all the way from manufacturing to selling, which is if you have a Purple store, that's how that would be set up. If you have a Sleep Number store, that's how that's set up. You walk into one of your stores right now with 50 beds. How do you change it? What do you do?
Well, you've got to know what you're really good at. Okay, or you commit to being really good at it. We went back. If you go back in time, it was a different day and time. But we did the Sealy only program, for example. Okay, we didn't have to worry about other brands. We just focused, and we became so good at selling Sealy, and we merchandised it in such a way that the consumer could come in, lie down on a couple beds. We sold them on the quality. We sold them on the brand. They already knew the brand. And then we just helped them find the price and comfort that was best for them. That was probably the easiest we ever made it because we committed totally to one vendor. We became important to them. They became important to us, and the relationship grew. I would, less is more sometimes. Today, we feel pressured that if we don't have that on the floor, well, we're losing customer. I don't know.
I think that's
I've seen every lineup you can, every type of lineup, and I see store averages doing, store averages. It's not like all of a sudden we put that bed down and our sales go through the roof. That has not happened. I don't know if anybody else's has happened like that. And I would love to talk to somebody at Sleep Summit where that's come true. But making all the changes, you don't see a large spike in sales.
I think that's the tension right now. Many of these brands get built online. and they drive foot traffic, or they claim to drive foot traffic. And so the retailer feels this tension about, well, I don't want to miss out on a customer if I don't put this direct to consumer digitally native brand on there, because people do start their searches online. And if they start their search online and it gives you one or two extra customers throughout the month or even the week, then that's hard to ignore, especially if there's some data to back it up. But like you said, what are you committed to? I think that's letting somebody else run your business in a way. And it's good. I'm happy that the brands are driving foot traffic like that. But also, I think we're going to see, based on the conversations I've had, people are going to really lean into making the retailer the brand. And I think, anybody out there right now, let's call it like it is. If you're selling Tempur-Pedic or TSI product and you're not part of Mattress Firm, you're like, okay, like this is my largest supplier. That's now my largest competitor as well, in a way. But we've done really good with this brand. We want to commit to the brand. But if you've been advertising Tempur-Pedic over and over and over again, I can see some people kind of pull back and be like, nope, I'm going to advertise my mattress store and make it about our expertise and make it about the experience we create and being trusted in that way. I think you'll start to see a little bit of that shift. And if that's the case, then your digitally native brands start to get maybe less prioritized from an advertising standpoint, but it's a mix. Everybody's going to have to figure it out for themselves.
Yeah. And you got to be ready to tell your story as an individual retailer. So you got to commit to that. You can't just, say your name. You got to know what the story is and get your people to totally buy into this story, because it can become you. They buy from you. They don't buy from the vendor. They don't buy from them. They buy from you. And so, yeah, tell your story, create a story that's believable and based, on the right things. But it is early. We use Sealy to build our brand because nobody gave a crap about Mattress Firm. But today it is different. It's different because now sleep shops especially are accepted as a category. And with that, you can advertise your brand and make it special.
How do you tell your story? I think about this a lot. If you're a retailer out there listening right now and they say, yeah, Harry's right, I need to tell my story, but I don't have it buttoned up. How do you mine your internal knowledge base or your people or your history and find that story?
You sit around and spend a lot of time on it. You've got to spend time talking about it, and it will finally come out of your mouth. You got to stand for something, but it's got to come from you. But you've got to brainstorm a ton and talk about who are we and what are we? And if you can't describe it, then you've got to stop and spend more time on that. You've got to figure out who are we and what do we stand for? And just sit around with people and ask questions. Because what you'll find is individuals, especially on your team, if you let them be involved in this, they're going to bring up some really cool stuff that you didn't think about. And if they can help describe who you are, who we are, and if they can describe what we stand for, wow, now you've got something to talk about. That's all. And using your people in that kind of conversation, ask your people. I'm sometimes afraid to ask, who are we? What do we stand for? I'm afraid of the answer sometimes. Sometimes we're not clear enough. It's powerful though. Every company should sit down and say, all right, beginning of the year, brainstorm, who are we? What do we stand for? And get it down to one sentence. And you'll be amazed how then you can build this culture that focuses on being that and giving that experience. We just say, give a great experience. And I got to give a great experience. What is that? What does that mean? Got to define it. And we work on that a lot.
And I think if it's something that is repeatable and it's fallen out of everybody's mouths, then you're singing from the same hymn sheet. And then that orchestra of voices is going to sound more rich and it's going to travel farther. I think Scott Vaughn with Happy Z's Sit and Sleep probably is one of the best at knowing their values and sort of what they stand for. And Jordan, his son, who's running the company now, and even past employees, they all said the same thing. It was like to glorify God through our business, essentially, is what it came down to. But everybody knew that. And so they were building a culture that was really faith-based. I remember talking to Cranes up in Ohio years ago, and they were working on their positioning, like, who are we? Trying to tell their story. And I remember they could not get off this idea that we're family owned, we're a family business, we're a family business. It made us different. And they would talk about how being a family business was the most important thing. That was their identity. And I said, great, okay, that's fine. Let's build your story around that. So how do you prove that you're a family business? Is your family on the website? Is your family in the advertising? Is your family the voice on the radio? Is your family in social media? No, they weren't. And so they decided, like, they had this great banter between the husband and wife, and we started writing radio ads. But if you're a family business, you just have to ask yourself the next logical question, which is going to be, how do we prove that? How do we activate that? How do we message that in a way that's actually going to resonate with people and matter to people? And so whatever your story is, there's also that prove it moment. How do we prove it? How do we live it out? But getting those values clear and then proving it.
Yeah. And that's a difficult thing to find. I mean, it's hard to find that, but when it comes, and that's why we spent tons of time on it. We've always spent a lot of time discussing that, because when it comes out right, it's like, okay, that's it. So yeah, the family thing is big, but you have, like you said, do your customers ever say it? Wow, I love dealing with these guys because they're a family business. If they don't ever say that, then you're not proving it out. You've got to find from your customers what they say sometimes about you. That's a scary deal too. Got to be brave. Got to be bold, like Wes says. Find out what your customers say about you, and you might find the answer.
Your brand, I think Bezos with Amazon said something like, your brand is what people say about you when you leave the room. And so what do people say about, your store, your product, whenever you walk out of the room? That becomes your brand. And, part of that is, like, you have to give them the language to use. So if you want them to say a certain thing about your brand, like, that needs to be messaged out there. And then it needs to be lived out as well. And that's the piece where it's like, hey, we want to focus on the fact that we're a family business, but half of us have been in jail. Well, maybe that's not going to be your focus. Like, if you have a crappy family,
yeah,
and everybody's like rude to each other, and you're always fighting like the Hatfields and the McCoys, like, maybe don't focus on family business, even though that's important to you, because you're not going to be able to activate that in the right way. So pick another position.
Yes.
So, well, you guys, it's kind of refreshing in a way to know, like, even after almost 40 years in the business, you're still refining and struggling with some of the same things. Okay, so let's go back to clarity for a moment on the floor. Are there any brands that are super clear where it's like, yeah, they've got their story down, and that's why they do well on our floor, for example?
I'm just going to be truthful. I'm not on the floor a ton. All right. So I don't hear it from the consumer side. I only have, kind of what I hear, what I see, what I hear from the vendors. And several of them have a good story. Maybe they just don't communicate it enough on who they really are. And again, I'm sorry, but I think Tempur does one of the best at it. They've been saying similar things about their product for a long time. And that helps, being consistent with the message. And then they've developed products that fit that little piece where they're not so good. And they've developed really good products to fit that piece. And their story is strong. You've got to find this story. We've challenged other vendors to get better at telling their story, because we need to tell it on the floor if you want to win. So you have to get better at telling your story so that you can help us. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you stand for. And if you can't tell me, how am I going to get excited about selling it? Big margin, that's nice. That's good for me. But that doesn't help me sell it if it doesn't have a story.
I think it's
a challenge, man. It's a challenge out there. I mean, you did a lot of cool things at, your last mattress company. Excuse me.
Yeah, Englander. Yeah.
At Englander.
Englander we were sitting on a great story, at Englander. We were owned by Goodyear Rubber Tire Company in the 50s, first brand to put latex in a mattress. I was like, let's lean into latex because it's a great component and it maps to our story. And so we did. We put our foot on the gas pedal in that direction. You know how it is, franchise or a licensee organization, you're corralling cats to get everybody to execute on that. But we did a pretty good job overall. But yeah, I think there's a ton of opportunity for exactly what you're saying. And it's something I think about a lot. I mean, it's something that I love, building brands. And so I've thought about this a lot. Like, how do we create clarity where there's confusion to give people confidence? And it has to be a simple story, and it has to be differentiated and positioned the right way. And it has to be able to fall out of the RSA's mouth during that moment of truth. And then it has to resonate with the consumer. So that simplification process, I always used to say simple is not easy.
Simple is tough. And it's got to be a focus, though. It's got to continually be in conversations. Simple. Have we simplified this? Again, if we're going to make sleep easy, we're going to make mattress buying easy, we've got to spend a ton of time on asking that question. Are we actually doing that? And is the consumer saying we're doing it? I mean, I hear a lot of things from people that buy beds. I still sell a lot of beds just from friends and family and around the country. And I hear a lot of, man, this salesperson was so nice, so helpful, so nice, so helpful. Is that who we are? We're nice and helpful. You know, that's all. That's what they're saying. I'm not hearing, gosh darn, I walked in, it was so easy. They just made it so easy for me. I'm hearing they're nice, they're friendly, they're helpful, great people. I haven't heard anybody say they made it easy. That'd be cool. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool. That'd be really
Is there
cool.
anybody out there that you're seeing that just fires you up when you see them? And again, you don't maybe have to use names, but you're dealing with a lot of great retailers and talk to a lot of great retailers, manufacturers. Is there anybody you get fired up about?
I'd tell you these my brothers down at Sleep USA Mattress get me fired up because I went to see their stores, and the one in Cleveland, Tennessee, and you walk in and like it is very well mapped out. You know what you're supposed to do as a consumer, and it takes just a minute for like Sam or Jaron or if Terry's there to explain it. And like they have big numbers, like it's a 5-step process, and we get your feel, we get your pillow, and then we go try mattresses, and then we get your base, and then we get your essentials. Like it's very well mapped out, and they kind of build value in it being a system and a way to navigate it. And it does narrow down the floor pretty quickly, and it creates like, okay, I know my feel. I know this is a good pillow profile for me. Now I just have to select from a few different mattresses. They do a good job out at Sit and Sleep as well. They've been doing it for years. They do their bed match system.
Yeah.
Jordan's has a similar technology where they call it Bridget, but that bed match narrows down the floor, and then you know, okay, going from 60 down to 6 that I need to try that are going to fit my body. So I think that gives people some confidence in it, and lessens the confusion. But again, I think like you said, you got to message that. You got to build value in it. You got to make sure people know, like, this is the experience we're going to create. Here's how we're going to help you. And here's how it's going to give you confidence, because that's like one of the key things, whenever you're buying a mattress, you're usually in some sort of a transition, and the underlying emotion with transitions are uncertainty, which is fear. And so they're scared on some little bitty level, even if it could be big fear, it could be a little bit of fear. And when you have fear, you're really trying to get an assurance of an outcome. You want something to 100% work. And so the more you can assure, help them with the clarity piece, the navigation piece, and then give them that assurance of an outcome, you're going to win, I think.
Yeah. And that they're walking in our doors still to this day with fear, And we're the experts. We're the ones that know how to do this. You shouldn't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Let me help you. But they do. They're coming in with fear. And like you say, transition. And that's where, back to Super Brandi, she connects in a way, early, warm, welcoming, and people feel like, oh, I just found somebody that's going to make this easy for me, who understands my fear and tells me, look, I know this is confusing. I know it's not fun, but I've been doing this 15 years. I love it. And I'm going to make this as easy and as painless for you as possible. Does that sound good? And off to the races. Would you like to see my pet tortoise?
I want to encourage everybody to get that line down like Brandi. How do you create warmth? How do you create connection? Notice something about somebody, compliment them, smile. Brent Batterman says, just like wave and smile, like, hey, like, come on in. Like, I'm so glad you're here. It's the best day ever to buy a mattress, and then on top of that, like if you have that object or that pet or something like that, that is so cool to me. I think it really is just disarming. It's like, oh, okay, I can take a deep breath because I can't be scared of a turtle.
Yeah, no,
awesome.
It's still fun.
I appreciate you being on the pod today, man. I always love talking with you. Thank you for coming to Sleep Summit. If you haven't got your tickets, there's still time. It's October 14th through 17th in beautiful Bentonville, Arkansas. We have an incredible lineup of speakers and music and inspiration. And it's where, everything comes together for you so you can continue to make an impact. So if you're thinking about your business, needing clarity, if you want to, Harry just held up the Sam Walton biography. We're actually, one of our speakers is Russ Robertson. There are very few people on the planet left that work directly with Sam Walton, and Russ Robertson is one of them. And he's going to be talking about how Sam Walton actually did it. This is a story that hasn't been told. Not a lot of people know this. It's not even in his book. How did Sam Walton, and for the VIPs, we got a private experience with Russ, so we can dig in a little bit deeper. But grab your tickets, sleepsummit.thefam.com. You can go to thefam.com and find it. But dude, I can't wait to see you and your team, and hope you have a great week ahead. Any final parting words for us? What do we miss?
No, I appreciate you having me back on the show. Hopefully we gave some people a couple gold nuggets. That's really what it's about. Get a little inspiration out there. We could talk all day long. I could talk all day long about the mattress biz. So have good luck at Sleep Summit. I know you guys, you and Tara are working your tails off to make sure everything's right. You treat everybody like a VIP, and we appreciate it. So good luck with it. We'll see you there. Can't wait for hearing the speakers. I'm bringing my Sam Walton book because it's one of my faves, man. I've got it earmarked. It's a great story and an inspirational story. So thanks for that. We'll see you in beautiful Bentonville.
Can't wait. Hey, if you got some value out of this, share it with a friend, repost it. Always subscribe on Apple or Spotify. You can get on our newsletter at thefam.com, and we will hopefully all see you with hugs and high fives at Sleep Summit 2025. Harry, have a great day. Thanks, man.
You too, brother.